Hey, how's it going? Good afternoon, lunch hour. Hope that everybody is doing well. It was good to see everyone yesterday, and missed you last week. I did watch everybody that was on here and got to monitor it from Facebook, and that was cool to see what everybody else sees. So anyway, we're back. We're back in the saddle. Hope everybody is doing good this week, this Monday. So yesterday, if you were here or you were watching online, you saw a bit of a challenge there at the end, or maybe you didn't. I don't know, but we have a giveaway this morning. Welcome to the youth ministry.
Come on.
Yeah, we have a giveaway. We have an Oasis vest. Yes, we know that it is like the sun outside right now, but it will be cold. It's still Amarillo, and we have a special guest that actually is
Presenting
seen
it.
before. I would hope we'll call him our pastor. He's bringing in the vest.
There it is.
Looking fly, sir. Yes,
The
and it
sharp
even
O.
has the shiny on the inside.
Is that the microwave?
It is, yeah. If you put this in the microwave, it's likely to give you a show. So don't do that. But it is reflective and warm and post-toasty, and we want to give this away to anybody. So, Ben, you have our questions. Is that correct?
So do we want to do all three? I guess we should have talked about this before. We have the idea, don't get me wrong. This has been thought out 5 minutes ago. Do we want to do all three or do we want to do one?
Let's do one. Let's
do one? Okay.
First person to answer gets this in whatever size that you want. Right? Whatever. You get it. So, question.
So I got the question. Since I know what the question is, we'll even say the person who gets closest to it.
Okay.
So therefore, there's a little hint of what the question is or what it. And let's say you can't go over the limit.
Okay.
The closest one to it can go over. So that way you kind of really got to narrow down. You can't be like, oh, I was 5 off either way. No, you can't go over. So we have some goals before we get to our 50th anniversary. And one of those goals was we want to get a certain amount of people on a short-term mission trip. Not left, but brought back. But what was the number of how many people we would like to get on a short-term mission trip before our 50th anniversary, which is 3 years away? Are we pausing for COVID? Is it 3 plus some? 3.
So we're just gonna go.
All right.
No pause. Yep.
No pause.
Trusting
So, so if the first one to type in what the answer is and not be over that number, you're going to get this. And we do have different sizes, so don't worry about, I can't fit in that. I'm not even going to try. Try anyway, because we can get this. So in the comments, how many people were we wanting to send on a short-term mission trip before we get to our 50th anniversary? So
Staff and spouses are ineligible for this drawing.
staff and spouses are ineligible,
Sorry.
and children.
Nice.
Good luck.
Good luck. So, put it in there as quick as possible. You have till the end of this. I'm responding to a couple folks here, so I'm not going to type this one in. Hi, Linda. It's good to see you. We're glad that you're coming in here. We try to respond to everybody as they're coming in. It sure is fun to watch everybody populate in the comments. So what we're going to talk about today is actually it's going to be out of Genesis. My part is going to be out of Genesis chapter 39. And this is going to be a story that most everybody's familiar with. It's Joseph dealing with Potiphar's wife. And the whole story, I'll read it. It's chapter Genesis 39, starting in verse, it's the end of 6. And it says, "Now Joseph was handsome in form and appearance. And after a time, his master's wife cast her eyes on Joseph and said, 'Lie with me.' But he refused and said to his master's wife, 'Behold, because of me, my master has no concern about anything in the house, and he has put everything that he has in my charge. He is not greater in his house than I am, nor has he kept back anything from me except you, because you are his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? And this is a powerful statement because he lays down, this statement of like, this is all the things that has been entrusted into me. These are all the ways that I've been blessed. These are all the ways that really things are going great. The master had given him, Potiphar had given him all of these privileges, but then his response to it is astounding. He says, how then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? Not Potiphar, not himself, but against God.
Interesting perspective.
And man, he changes it. He totally changes it. Like, this is bigger than just me, man. It's not a matter of me just sinning against myself or the people who have blessed me. It's, man, I do all of these things because of God. Man, I've been blessed with some stuff. I've been blessed with this. And this is Joseph, man. He had an awful run at life to this point.
He had a rough track record.
Yeah, but I mean, people would just literally sold by his brothers. He finds himself a servant. Here after this, he's going to find himself in prison. But he trusted God. And this is one of the things that I want everybody to really get from this, is we need to not be distracted. The diversions that have that have just really been blowing us up. And COVID-19 is bigger than a diversion. Okay, it is something that's affecting society, culture, the globe. The things that are going on, the social unrest that's going on in our country, this is bigger than just a diversion. But what I can say is there are those things that are diversions that we see, whether it's in social media or whether it's in the conversations that we have or whatever, that we indulge in, right? And what's crazy is how we really are irritated by the gossip. We're irritated by these diversions, but yet we flirt with them. We allow a little bit in our lives. I have to tell you, and this is going to be a bit of a confession, when I get bored, I am a compulsive eater. Mm-hmm. Man, I'm not even hungry, but if I'm bored, there's a can of Pringles. It is, sorry about your bad luck. There's no longer Pringles. And here's the thing is, if I start to go down that road where I even eat a little bit, if I don't get out in front of it and say, no, up front, man, it will end up with an empty can. And I think that this is our way with the sins in our life, but these diversions that we have in our life is we have this awesome focus and it's great intentions, but then we allow these little things to fester and to stick around. And so my encouragement to you and to myself is to get out in front of it. And when we see ourselves, we feel ourselves getting irritated by the conversations or by the diversions, the things that are messing around in our lives, we just need to get out in front of it and say, no, period. There's no way I'm doing that and sinning against my God. Regardless of what I want out of this deal, regardless of really what everybody else expects of me, God said, avoid that. Avoid the sin. Avoid this temptation in your life. It's not even going to have a place. We read that what Joseph did is his response from it wasn't that he turned and walked away and said, no, not today. He turned and he ran. He split.
Yep.
That was
left
active. Yeah. And that's maybe us. When we feel ourselves getting mad at individuals on Facebook that we don't even know. No, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm going to run from that because this is what God has said. When I feel anxious or I feel like those things that I'm addicted to or whatever, they start to creep back in. No, I'm out. I'm going to run to God because I understand that He is the reason that I have all of this. I'm a blessed man because God has blessed me. The life that I have, the salvation that I have, God's gift, and I'm not going to turn against that. So that's my thing is as you guys read this or as you read through this passage, as you listen to this, chase after God, but turn from those diversions and just keep your focus solely on God, not the things that are going on around you. God knows, right? He's got it. So
And so just to kind of reiterate what you say is And you went deep today. You went down deep, and because really the verse I have is really just a build upon that, and it was written by Solomon. That the second son of David and Bathsheba. So much of some people kind of like think, oh, it was the first one. No, actually it wasn't. And so he said this when it came to what we do with our lives, because I think that it's very much the vein of where we struggle. It's like we have these grand ideas of what we're going to do with our lives and where we want to be, but the reality is we will ignore everything else that is going to be good and give us life when we do one element wrong. And it's really, it all comes back to God, but I think it's really us putting together some two principles. And this is Proverbs 29, verse 18. It says, where there is no prophetic vision, the people cast off restraint, but blessed is he who keeps the law. And the two words, the two principles I should say we want to put together is the prophetic vision. And just as Joseph did, and he said, I'm going to sin against my God. Why would I do that? And it was his perspective of where he was. And I think a lot of times where we decide what we're going to do with our life, we don't allow God to have a say inside that part of the conversation. We don't give him a room to even suggest. We're more of just like, this is what I want.
Right.
This is where I want to be. And one area I want to kind of give to us is really when we come to this word prophetic. That word is literally a word that says as a clear connection and understanding of whatever comes to us, whatever knowledge, whatever sentiment comes to us, it is coming from God. It's not coming from godly people. It's not coming from, that's a good element to have in my life. It's just good. I can multiply that. I can sell it, whatever. No, it comes straight from God, our Creator. And so I think if we have this perspective of knowing that He is our Creator, we believe this and let it settle in us. We're going to allow His Word to guide our life, and that life is going to be fruitful and it's going to be productive. Because here's one thing that I want us all to understand is you're supposed to work in life. This was actually even written into our blog that we have on our website. Take a step with us. Take next step. Take your next step. And that focus last week was you're supposed to work. Adam was supposed to work the garden before the fall.
Right.
So we have this whole perspective on like, man, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. Being the college pastor, I could talk with a lot of students of like, oh, so I asked this huge question. So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
With everything. And it's this weighty element, but it's the reality of like, man, you don't have it figured out. I kind of take that pressure off, like, I don't have things figured out, but what are you going to do? I mean, we all answer that question. What are you going to do? And I think when we take God out, we hamstring ourselves. And so I want to add another question for what are you going to do? I want you to answer that question from the reality of that question cannot be completed today. If you're going to answer the question, what are you going to do? From the perspective of, all right, well, I can't complete this answer today. You have a vision.
Right.
You have the ability to understand the long-term game and being okay with taking the slow and steady steps of realizing that this life race that we're in, it's slow and steady. And the people who try to speed it up, they're going to screw it up. That's that. History has proven that. Anything we try to speed up, hence the microwave, it always tastes a little funny, always tastes a little rubber, right? But when we have this ability to realize, okay, what I want to do, what am I doing? I know that I can't accomplish today. That takes all the weight off of me teaching Justice how to drive.
Yeah.
Scary thought.
Yeah.
Let him sit in the seat all he wants.
Yeah.
Make sure he doesn't have the key. Right?
Yeah. I love the proactive, as you're saying that, I love the proactive side of it. And not to cut you off, I don't want to derail it. I think that there's so much of this is when we look down at it, I would love to say that adults are different than teenagers, but man, we want our stuff right now.
We sure do.
This needs to be fixed right now, and the fact is once we get to be adults, man, we still like the easy button. What's the easy way out? And the fact there is no easy way out every time, and there's just work. There's just work for getting closer to God. There's work of I'm just going to say no to that or whatever. But it's such an interesting thing to think of is as we struggle through some stuff, as we work towards getting closer to God. And that's intentional.
Yeah.
You know, like we got to wake up and think this needs to be this needs to be done. So
Yeah. No, and so I tie this up with this one element, and actually named this after my daughter because it's Garden of Eden. My daughter's name is Eden, so it's this Eden vision, the vision I have for her life, right? Make sure she marries a doctor. But this Eden vision, what is your Eden vision in the terms of what is your goal of where you would like to achieve if this were a perfect world? Because the answer to that has to come from God.
yeah, good word.
And he created this perfect garden of no hardship of struggle, no sweat of the brow, but yet there was still something to do. There's still some sense of accomplishment that we needed to achieve. So let's dream. Let's dream. What is our Eden vision for our life? And let's let God into that conversation so he can plant the seed, so he can direct us and protect us from the sour fruit, protect us from the fruit that is going to spoil, protect us from the fruit that is not conducive to where he wants us to be.
Yeah.
So that's all I had. You weren't cutting me off. I was done already. You just didn't know.
It worked out. Worked out. So we actually have a winner,
We do.
and that's it. Michelle Stepp backed it. On it.
Quick.
Yeah, she was quick. So 250 is what we're anticipating. What we hope by our 50-year anniversary is to get 50 or 250 of our congregation on the mission field in some capacity. And so, Michelle, you nailed it. So you need to tell us what size that you want this to be. You can text it to one of us or catch a Sunday or something like that. So thanks for throwing those in. We want to hear this from you. I know that I'm interested is, if we see you Sunday or you see us Sunday, or maybe it's just something that's bouncing around in your mind about some of the stuff that we say or you see and hear on these Monday meetings, we want to talk to you about them. Man, just things that God is doing in your life. We want to celebrate that. That's a part of the church. We want to celebrate the work that God is doing and the work that you're doing. So, that's maybe it.
Yeah. Well, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Be encouraged to dig into the Word even more throughout the week, because it's not just a Monday thing or even a Sunday thing of us checking off the box, but it's an everyday thing, because that's how we get to a vision, is we're doing something actively every day to achieve it. So digging into your faith and take hold of your faith where God wants you to go with your life that he's blessed you with. So I hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you this weekend.
Love you guys.